Hello everyone, this is Johnny and welcome back. So this is day 3 of me working on this greenhouse, and today I'm really going to focus in on these PVC hoops right here. And as I showed you previously, they're not all quite the same size. So some of them are a little longer than others, and so I need to get them all even. I'm probably going to need to buy a few fittings and I'm going to cut them. But I also need to do some trimming here of this particular tree. There's actually a Japanese maple tree right here, and it's a variegated variety. I actually see up here, nice beautiful variegation here on this. So we definitely want to leave this tree, but we want to leave it here and let it coexist, but it is getting in the way a little bit, these two trees here, getting in the way a little bit of this hoop. So we're going to do a little bit of pruning there, and then work on these hoops themselves. Okay, first of all, I need to work on pruning this just a little bit. Once again, I want to leave this, so I want to do this carefully. These are some nice Japanese maples here, but I just can't have this here in the way of the greenhouse and the hoop here. Okay, so you can see that I got a basic trim here. Very likely I'll have to come back through with time and adjust this, but for now this should give me enough access to the hoops. Okay, so I've determined that this particular hoop here is the height that I'm going for. Back in front of me that direction, there's one that's at the opening of the greenhouse, and it's going perfectly over the door frame, so I know that's perfect. And what I've done here is I've taken an orange string and I've cut it to the exact length here of this particular part of the PVC that goes to this union. And you can see here that that's the basic length here of this tube. So I'm going to go through and figure out which ones are right and do what I need to for the ones that are the wrong length. What I might have to do is go ahead and piece on a coupler and a little piece in the middle to make some of these longer. Something like 6 inches or so, whatever I need to do to make these all the same height. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these and then I'll check back in with you. Okay, so it's another day, and what I've done here is, as I pointed out, these hoops, some of these hoops were too short, and so when I looked across the line here, they were not all even. So what I've done is I went and purchased some of these couplers, and I needed to add 6 inches that stuck into these couplers of pipe and then connect that here, and then also add another 6 inches here. By adding 6 inches here and 6 inches here, that allows these to match the height that it's supposed to be based on the doorway. So I've done a few of these. I got that one done, and I marked these that were already the right height. But you can see that I also got that one. That one's good. I've done that one. That one's a good height. I've done that one. You can see the couplers, so you know they're done. And looks like that one, I'll have to measure that one. These 3 here look like they're too short. And then that one's good. And then the one here in the entryway is also too short because it does not go over the top of this post here. It's got to go over the top of this post so the plastic can go over. And then I also purchased some new 10-foot pieces of pipe because I actually need to construct 2 hoops to go right here. So you can see the metal poles there where these are going to connect to. So I just have a few more couplers to put in to raise up the rest of those hoops. And then I just need to put together 2 of the hoops with the various connectors here, connect that all together, and then I'll be able to put in the side posts here and the support posts up above. So it's coming along very nicely, and I'll be excited to get this part of the project finished. Okay, so this string here shows me the right measurement for what this should be. And I can see here that, yeah, this one's about 6 inches short because it goes right here. And so, yeah, I need to add 6 inches to this hoop to raise it up. And yeah, these 3. So yeah, these three are off 6 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut six 6-inch pieces. And then I'll connect that together here, and I'll cut this off and connect it together here. Okay, so first of all, I need to cut this here and here so I can add the extra 6 inches with the couplers. And I'm going to cut this off using my battery-powered Sawzall. Okay, so now I have this top piece and this 6-inch extension. And so what I'm gonna do is just add in one of those 1-inch couplers, and I'm not gonna glue this just yet. I'm gonna glue it in just a little bit, but I just wanna do a dry fit before I do. So I add in the extension there, and then add that coupler there, and then do the same thing on this side. And that actually has a little bit of a natural bend already, which is ideal because I'm using recycled PVC there. And like I said, I'll come glue this in a minute, but I just want to do a dry fit. And there you go. Now that's the right height. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that same thing for this one, and then the one at the end, and then I'll check back in with you. Okay, so you can see I got those couplers all in. Now I just need to turn these 10-foot, two 10-foot pieces of PVC here into a hoop, and then repeat that process so I can fill in the extra 2 missing hoops. Okay, I have this first 6-foot section marked here, so I'm gonna cut this here, and then I'll have naturally a 4-foot section left, which will serve the bottom portion. So I just need to cut these two. This is pretty simple here. And I found this saw box here, this miter box works really well. Okay, so each one of these needs 3 of these cross connectors. And basically at the top, there'll be a cross connector, and then at the bottom parts of the 2 hoops, there'll be a cross connector. So I'm gonna do a dry fit of this, slide it into its place, and just make sure this is exactly what I want before I glue this all together. Okay, so that's how that hoop's gonna be. And yes, that looks like that's the right height. All connected together. So basically, yeah, I just need to glue that together. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one cut, and then I can glue this together. That looks proper. 6 foot, 4 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot. Okay, so let me get the next one cut out, and then I'll glue those 2 together, and then that one will be good. So I'm just applying the primer here to this lower section, and then the primer to this little cross member as well. Then I got to put some glue for the joint. Okay, and slide that on. We'll have to make sure that's lined up directly like that, but let that dry a little bit. Now I did do a dry fit before I started gluing this. Now I just need to put this 6-foot section here at the top, and then that will allow us to connect it to the other end there. But I'll probably let it dry for a few minutes first. Okay, this one here has been drying for a few minutes. Let me see if that feels like that's setting up. Let me see if this will go ahead and stretch into its shape now. Just do this slowly. So I got a brand new hoop stretched right there. That one's good. And we have this one here that's not quite stretched. And I should go ahead and glue it top actually, and then I'll detach this end here like I did. That seemed to work pretty well. So I'll glue that top joint, let that dry kind of hanging down, and then I'll stretch it out like I just did here. Okay, I still have to come in and glue all of these couplers to the little 6-inch connections and connect that. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these little cross members in to get that done, and then I'll go in and glue those if I have time today. If not, I'll take care of that next time. Okay, so I have the 2 new hoops in, and then I have all these side support bars installed right across here. So you can look down here, all the side supports are in. Same thing on this side. So we move back here. Now I just need to come through really quickly, and I'm going to glue these couplers here, these little couplers, to the 6-inch sections, and then I can slide in the top supports, and then the greenhouse structure basically will be ready for shade cloth. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these couplers and then put those support bars in the middle, and then I'll check back with you. Okay, so I ran out of time for the day, so I'm gonna have to finish this up next time I come. Started getting these top ones in, and some of that will line up a little better once I kind of get this all straightened out and get shade cloth pulled down upon it. You can see there that the hoops wanting to bend just slightly different there, but I got all these glued together there, so those are ready to go ahead and insert back where you can see the hoops are cut there. So I'll finish that next time, and then we can move on to the next project. But getting there, getting pretty close, almost there. I do need to address this new hoop that I put in. One end is bent properly. This other end didn't want to act right, and it bent there at the top a little bit. I do have some PVC that's pretty curved that was used previously, and I may just end up using that instead. So I got plenty here that I can scrap from that's already curved, and I got several extra couplers that I can use. So I'll probably end up using that to kind of fix that next time I come. Well, thank you so much for following along with me as I restore this greenhouse. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing if you'd like to see further progress in this greenhouse. And until next time, thanks for watching.